Very good evening to one and all. Good evening, children. So, today we are going to discuss about intermediate second year economics. Intermediate second year economics, fifth chapter, agricultural sector. So, today our topic is rural indebtedness. Rural indebtedness. As you all know, children, nearly 70% of our Indian population lives in villages, and what happened, these people, they spent, especially in our country, most of the people, those who are there in the rural areas, they spend huge amount of money on unproductive areas. We discussed, like marriages, festivals, ceremonies, all these. So people, they spend mostly on the unproductive areas. And what happened, they get children, there are various sources are there, by the help of that they get the credit, the institutional credit in the previous class only we discussed, and non-institutional credit. So most of the people in the rural areas, they feel very good to take the loan from the non-institutional sources like moneylenders, friends, agents, relatives, and so on. Why? Because these people, they are ready to pay them they are ready to give them the loan at any time, but at a higher rate of interest. So these people, at the time of taking loan, they didn't think, children, about the what are the consequences if they unable to pay the loan in time. So, and then later on, they came in the clutches of the money lender at the cost of their properties, house, and all the others. So let us discuss first, children, about the estimation of rural indebtedness. That means in our country, how many, what is that, what do you call the estimation, that how many people, that rural people, and how much of amount of the money they are indebted, they are under the loan. They are under the loan. So to start with the estimation, 1950 to 51, nearly rural indebtedness in our country was about 913 crores. How much? 913 crores. In the year 1971, the rural indebtedness, it was 3,804 48 crores. What does it mean? That 71, the rural indebtedness increased. Number of people, they took much amount of the loan from the rural areas, maybe non-institutional sources especially. Then 1981, 6,193. It is also too much. That means as the years are passing on, we find that the rural indebtedness is also increased a lot. In the year 2002, 1,11,648 crores of indebtedness by the rural household, either by the institutional or by the non-institutional sources. Okay, so after learning this rural indebtedness, the most important question, children, for you, that are repeated number of time in the examination, that is causes of rural indebtedness. Causes. What are the causes of rural indebtedness? So there are various causes are there, children. What is the first cause, children? You are also very well aware, because you people are living in the villages. You know that the major cause of the rural indebtedness is poverty. The major cause of rural indebtedness is low savings. People, they are not having the habit of savings. And the major cause is crop failures also. Children, when the person is very poor, the person go on taking the loans, children, either for productive or the unproductive purposes. When there is no savings, definitely when the person is in need of money and there are no savings with him, he'll take the loan, children. And when there are crop failed because of natural disaster, that time also, children, in the rural areas, the people, they prefer to take loans. So this is the first cause, children, of taking loans. Then what are the other cause, children? So people, they borrowed in rural areas. The people, they borrowed. Most of the people, they borrowed to improve their lands. To improve their lands. maybe the land is not in a proper condition, maybe some problems are there in the land, maybe for the irrigation purposes and for the other purposes, children, they take the loan to improve their lands. Followed by, children, most of the people, they borrowed in the village areas for unproductive purposes. All what are unproductive purposes? Like marriages, ceremonies, festivals, etc. comes under the unproductive purposes. Then what are the other thing, children? What are the other one? That is debt inheritance. Debt inheritance. Inheritance, you know very well. The debt that they get it from their parents. So debt inheritance of the parent. Most of the people, what happened, they found that the parents had taken the loan, but they were unable to pay the loans. So what happened, as soon as the parents are not in a position to pay that debt, so children, they take up the responsibility. So to pay the debt, they take another loan from another side. Taking loans from this side, paying this side. Taking loan from this side, paying that side. Like that, the cycle goes on in the village level. Then, dependence on non-institutional sources. The another cause for that rural indebtedness, dependence on non-institutional sources. Children, when a person comes to know that easily he or she is going to get the loan, they are not moving backward to take the loan from all the money lenders and from the other one. Then followed by, children, inadequate support price. Inadequate support price is also one of the reasons, children. You know, minimum support prices are given to the farmers. If that is not given, at that time the farmers takes the loan. And then afterwards, increase cost of cultivation. Increase cost of cultivation is also one of the reason for rural indebtedness. So I hope, children, it is very clear to all of you why the people in rural areas, they take the loans. So what are that one, children? Poverty, low saving, crop failures, followed by borrowed to improve the lands. They borrowed the money for the unproductive purposes. They take to pay all the loans that are taken by their parents. Dependence on the non-institutional sources. Then inadequate support price. If minimum support price is not given to the farmers, at that time the persons they go on taking the loans. And increase the cost of cultivation. How the cost of cultivation increase, children? When the prices of the things, of the requirements what a farmer, the rural people, they are in need, when the prices of all the goods increased, at that time the cost of production, the price for the cost of production also increased, the children. So after the causes, the next topic for us is remedial measures. Remedies to control this rural indebtedness. So what are the remedies, children? So the remedies, from the causes only we come to know, children. So the remedies are to enact appropriate legislation. To enact legislations means some laws, legislations to pay old debt. To pay old loans. Some laws to be passed by the government so that a farmer can pay all the old debt. That is the first one. Then to increase the network of of cooperatives, already we discussed, commercial banks we discussed, and then followed by regional rural banks. So if it increased, definitely people, they go to the these areas and they get the loans at a easy way. Then what is the next one? That is to provide timely and adequate credit. Provide timely and adequate credit. Adequate credit. Timely and adequate credit to the people. So easily what happens, children, by this one? The people, they get the credit, especially for the small and marginal farmers. Then what is the next one? Mortgaging of. Most of the people, they mortgage that land. Mortgaging of lands to be avoided. If this is avoided, what happened? Definitely the lands of the farmers, the lands of the rural people will be saved. Mortgaging means keeping the lands to the what you call money lenders in turn of money. Then next one is coverage of what you call as the women farmers. Coverage of women farmers under microfinance, to be increased. You know, children, women areas we are having, no, all the self-help groups you can find in your villages also. If women, they go with them, take the microfinance from the government, from other institution, and they open their own work, children, it will help children that so it is a source of income. It will help to remove this indebtedness. So these are all called as, children, the remedies to control, the remedies to solve the problem, children, of rural indebtedness. So I hope every one of you understood, children, all the causes and the remedies of rural indebtedness. Okay, beside these remedies and the causes, children, whether anything else the union and the state governments they are doing, children. So here we find that the union and state governments, especially you heard also, union government and state government, they started a scheme called as waiver, that is we can also call as loan waiver scheme. We also call as that is loan waiver scheme. Loan waiver scheme. This is a scheme that was started by the union and state government to remove the problem of what is loan waiver. Loan waiver is nothing but, if you remember, that if anyone is taken, children, if anyone is highly indebted in the heavy loan, at the time the government, what they do, they cancel their loans. They don't force the farmers to pay it. So instead of that, they waive the loan. That is, no need to pay that one, and even they can take the fresh loan from the government. So this is a very good one, because most of the farmers' suicide cases we heard in the previous years. So to avoid all those suicides, to avoid all the problems of the farmers, so what the government did, children, government introduced loan waiver. That means all the loans of the farmers will be cancelled. Okay, the government is not going to ask those loans, and then the farmers can apply for a new loan. It's a very good scheme, children, by the union and state government. And then recently, children, last year, you know that our Telangana state government started Raitu Bandhu scheme. Raitu Bandhu scheme. Every one of you are aware of this scheme, children. Raitu Bandhu scheme, children. Under this, nearly about rupees 10,000 per acre were given children to the rural people. 10,000 per acre were given, and it was given, children, in 2 installments. So this is also very good, no, children. Anyone, those are having 1 acre of land, they get 10,000. 2 acres of land, 20,000. So this is very helpful, children, for the government, for the people to get away from this indebtedness. This is TS government. What about the union government then? Union government started a scheme called as Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman. Respect. Kisan Samman Nidhi. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. This was the the program that was launched by the union government, and under this one a farmer gets rupees 6,000 per acre from the government, from the union government, and it is paid in the 3 installments. So what is all these things, children? These are nothing but, beside all those measures, these are also some of the measures, some of the schemes that were started by the government. Union and state government started the loan waiver scheme. The loans of the farmers is cancelled. That means cancel means no need to pay those loans. Okay. Then TS government started Raitu Bandhu scheme. Last year only it was implemented, where initially it was started with 8,000 per acre, but later it turned as 10,000 per acre, and it is paid in 2 installments. So, Union government started Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. Under this one, nearly 6,000 per acre amount is given to the farmers' children, and it is paid in 3 installments. So I hope it is clear to all of you about the rural indebtedness. Rural indebtedness, taking loans that are taken by the farmers. They take the loans, children, for productive, but mostly for unproductive purposes. Later what happened, they come in the clutches of the money lenders, and they face number of problems, children. And the causes already we discussed. There are a number of causes for the rural indebtedness. This is a very important question for you for the 10 marks or either for the 5 marks, children. So very important one, the causes and the remedies and some of the schemes that was launched by the government to control this rural indebtedness. Okay, so I hope that this topic is clear to all of you. Very soon we'll meet with the next topic, children. Our next topic, children, is about agricultural marketing. We have to discuss in the next class about the agricultural marketing, and then followed by we are having food security. Only 2 topics are left over to complete this chapter. Okay, so by that time, children, you know what you have to do it. You have to go through the textbook, read the lesson, follow the material, children. If you have any other sources, go through that material also, go through that sources also, children. Okay, so now is the time to take leave, children. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, children. Thank you.